Right now, the Brantford and Brant County real estate market looks balanced on the surface, but underneath, it's quietly shifting. And if you're buying or selling this year, this shift is going to matter more than you think. The new year is here, and we have some really interesting things happening, in my opinion. And here is what I'm going to be keeping an eye on in the market this year. I want to first start off with inventory, or the amount of homes that are listed for sale at any given time. If you think back to 2021, inventory was extremely low. The lack of supply is what helped cause prices to go up so quickly. But since then, we've seen a steady inventory build year over year. And today, we are much closer to what I would call a balanced marketplace overall. For me, my line in the sand is about 600 active listing properties and a months of inventory number of about 5 to be called a balanced marketplace. This is a point where neither the buyers nor the sellers fully control the market. And right now, we're hovering at those levels. And this is also important too, because different price ranges behave and are behaving very differently. If you break it down by the segments, some are clearly in a buyer leading markets and some are still in the seller friendly market. So it depends is what I'm trying to say, but the headlines don't tell the full story. And if you do want a breakdown of your price range, your neighborhood, your sort of segment, it's for a different video, but I'd be happy to help you there if you need it. Next, I want to look at seasonality. And as expected, nobody needs a crystal ball for this. We saw a noticeable drop in new listings towards the end of the year, except that happens every single year. That's what happens in the winter. What matters most is the long-term trend. So when you zoom out, you'll notice that the inventory peaks have been higher than the last peaks throughout the year. Even though we saw listings fall seasonality-wise, overall supply or homes for sale is still trending higher. If you look at the inventory again this year, especially pushing above the 600 mark, that's when I'm going to start to get concerned. And because I think it's going to be putting pressure on prices if that happens, because then we enter into a seller's market overall. More inventory means more buyers, less urgency, and more negotiating. Will we get there? I don't think so, but I'm not predicting anything at this point. Another thing I want to look at is prices. So I want to talk prices right now. The median sales price of a home is still moving within a defined range, but what has me concerned is we're sitting at the bottom end of that range. Since the summer highs, prices are down roughly 8% almost. What's more concerning isn't the drop, it's that the prices are drifting lower for several months now, and it's starting to form a trend, and we haven't seen the snapback yet. But the positive side and sort of that seasonality play is that prices tend to rebound into that spring market. You usually see obviously a lift in activity and prices do rebound too. That being said, I'm not expecting a big bounce back though, but I will see some sort of improvement in prices that will maybe be gradually and might fade towards the end of the year like it has been. Another thing I'm looking at is sales volumes or the amount of homes that are actually selling. 2025 shaped up to be one of the weakest years in the last 5 years. You can see from this little black line that I'll show you on the chart. We've seen below average transactions and longer decision-making from buyers. This has been driven by, I think, major economic headlines that are coming out, the COVID hangover from a rapid increase in rates. Rates, although are starting to normalize and coming down and sort of flattening out, but buyers aren't panicking in my opinion, but they're certainly being careful. And they were careful for the majority of, if not all of 2025. So what I'm expecting going forward. Now, to me, the distinction matters here. I'm not making a prediction because I don't try to predict things. Prediction is a bad business because, well, things happen. What I do think though is what I'm going to expect. So what I'm going to watch is this data and how it adjusts as things change. So what I'm trying to say is here's what I'm expecting. Sales should improve modestly as interest rates, the concern for interest rates eases. Buyers are going to remain super price sensitive and value focused, and prices are likely to see more pressure to the downside than the upside. And that sounds pretty scary, but I think that unless this trend changes where prices are slowly drifting down, that's going to change my opinion, but I'm just going to be following the trend at this point. One thing that's counteracting that is interest rates are normalizing. They're sort of flattening out now, and I think maybe we'll see 1 or 2 more cuts. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but that's what I'm hearing. And to summarize it, I guess, I'm not seeing a crash. I'm just seeing a disciplined market that is evening itself out and going back to normal. So to wrap it up, I've been doing this for over 15 years. I'm entering my 16th year now. I've worked through the hot markets, the slow markets, the rising interest rates, the falling interest rates. And one thing never changes, this strategy. So a strategy matters even more than ever when markets are changing quickly. Even in markets where there's price pressures, the homes that are priced correctly, marketed properly, and positioned well, sell. Hope is not a strategy. Execution and experience matters. So whether you're buying or selling this year or just watching the market, trying to understand what's happening, my job is to help you navigate the market that we're in now, not the one that you want to hear about necessarily. And if you want to break down on your neighborhood, your price ranges, or a clear way to maximize your sale price, reach out anytime. I'd be happy to help. I want to continue to share honest opinions and updates. I won't sound like every single real estate agent out there, but that's okay. I appreciate you watching this far. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.